Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I'm talking about patch 0.1.5 for the arena, which includes a wipe and a whole heap of changes that will hopefully make arena a lot better and friendlier for everyone playing the game. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. Alright, so first up, patch 0.1.5. The servers have gone down for the next 4 hours, and they are currently doing the update right now. Now, the one major thing for this one is the update features a full profile wipe. As part of the update, progression of presets as well as player ARP, which is the ranking points, have been reset. ARP values have been adjusted as follows. If the player with less than 2000 ARP rating, they'll now be set to 1500, and players with more than 2000 ARP rating will be set to 2000. The good thing about this is if anyone was like a full sweaty mega chad who was trying to climb to the highest ranks of ranks in arena, now you're not going to get put up against them straight away, or it's less likely you'll get put up against them straight away when the wipe happens. So you'll actually fight more people that are more plebby if you're in the lower ranks, or if you're on the higher ranks, you're going to fight people that are better, which is good. Means it's going to have a bit more spread at the start instead of all being on the exact same. Now, I have read most of these points already just to make sure I had a good understanding before I went into this, but tier system and preset rebalance. The new tier system features the following changes. They removed the rating presets tab, and all presets are divided into 3 tiers. There's tier 1, 2, and 3. Presets have been balanced within each tier. Several class and ranked presets have been removed. First 2 presets of each class are free by default. So they're still going to have all the classes, but they're all going to break them down into 3 tiers. So I'd imagine it's like, if you looked at it how it was previously, think of all the presets set into thirds. Across the board going down as you level them up. Each collectible preset is now attached to a specific class and tier, which was the ones that were like on their own little tab by themselves. Standardized availability and amount of medicines in presets for each class, tier and class. So every class in the past at the start potentially didn't have any sort of like painkiller and stuff like that. It was really frustrating. They've made sure that everyone has like a painkiller and some sort of med, probably heavy bleed as well, to standardize it to make it actually properly competitive. And they've significantly reduced the amount of frag grenades in all presets. I think it was like the assault class had the majority of the grenades in the past, and now it's been standardized, so, or at least significantly reduced, so not everyone has grenades. I kind of felt like they should have either had it so everyone had grenades or like no one had grenades, but you'll actually see coming up, they actually put a lot of grenades in fixed spots in the actual maps, which is actually really good. So as for the matchmaking, now you select one of the 3 tiers when starting matchmaking, which means, you'll pick like the top third, middle third, bottom third. Unlocking matchmaking in the next preset requires unlocking 5 presets of the current tier. So if you were to go down the one path of one class, you would have to unlock at least 5 of the actual loadouts before being able to select the next tier. Matchmaking now accounts for player ARP and selected preset tier. You will need to actually select the preset of you'll need to select your tier before you actually queue up for a match, which means you're not going to have someone running a tier 3 loadout against people in tier 1, which is going to be great. Preset tiers 2 and 3 will be temporarily locked from matchmaking in ranked games until there are enough players who have unlocked tiers 2 and 3 respectively. I don't think this will take long to unlock, but I think BSG has done this so that way at the start of the wipe that's happening right now, there's not going to be like a handful of people that will rush to the very high level of presets and then try and stomp people that are lower presets or lower gear level. Team limit on picking duplicate presets. Players can now only select one identical preset per team for more balanced gameplay. So you can't just have a 5-man squad of someone running an assault rig with a grenade. So you can't just have like a 5 grenade bomb drop at the start of each raid or each round. Your team selected presets are marked in the preset list, which means this is something I was always saying in the past that should have happened. If you're going to have to select your preset inside the game, you should at least get to see what your other teammates are doing, which is what they've done. Flexible preset unlock system. Added the ability to select 4 presets for unlocking, 1 in each class. Experience to unlockable presets is gained when playing as any of the available presets of the corresponding class. When playing with a collectible preset, it will level presets of the corresponding class. Preset tree view is available via the button in the bottom menu. So this is one of the things I was saying that you should be able to play as one of the scout classes and also level up the other ones that you're in the scout tree. So then that way you can actually have some variation and you're not just playing the one preset over and over and over again. They're listening to us, in other words, and they're actually making some really good changes. You're actually starting to see that they're trying to make it so I don't think this is going to be a seriously competitive game for a long time. They've got a lot of things to do, but at least this will make the actual gameplay itself a lot more enjoyable and less mundane, less Groundhog Day. Because all you were doing to level up one preset was doing the same preset over and over and over again. And now this is going to help us stop doing that. Also kind of cool that you can actually use some of the collectible ones to level up the corresponding class. So you might be able to pick the one, like there's the Rizzy one, I think. That might level up like the Scout preset or the Assault preset or the Sniper or whatever. This will actually give you the opportunity to use some of those collectible ones, which is great. Preset price and unlock balance. Recalculated the preset purchase cost based on the tier it belongs to. Increase the difference in cash rewards between players who contributed more to the victory and those who contributed less. Reduce the amount of experience for unlocking a preset. Okay, this is another thing that we're all preaching as well. They've recalculated the purchase cost, so made it cheaper, so people won't hopefully run out, or maybe hopefully made it cheaper, so people won't run out as money as easily, but also increase the different amount of cash reward. So if you're on a losing team, but you have like 17 kills on the losing team, now you'll actually get paid better for that. Which is great. It's how it should be. Reduce the amount of experience for unlocking a preset. It's no longer going to take you like 300 games to unlock the next preset, which it's going to be good. Location selection. Increase the minimum number of locations to start matchmaking from 1 to 4. This is for 2 reasons, I believe. One is to help spread out the amount of things that you're picking, so therefore more people can match faster. And 2, to stop making it so a 5-man squad is only picking one map to constantly stomp that one map over and over again. So for example, if they have a specific strategy to stomp Sawmill, this can help prevent them just farming Sawmill over and over again. Painkiller effect. Reduced the color loss effect when using a painkiller. So in the center, it's nice and green. On the outside, it's gray. They've actually reduced that amount. Custom games. Now, I never touched custom games. I didn't really find any need to do it. I added new settings for custom games. Preset tier configuration. Switching off the kill cam. Configuring a duplicate team preset limits. Configuring character skill level. Configuring number of rounds needed to win a match. I think that's cool. And configuring team names. So this will be good for people wanting to put their own little tournaments together and then being able to set, you have to win 10 rounds instead of 5 and all that kind of stuff. I like this. The more stuff they add to custom games, I was already starting to think about an idea of how to put a tournament together before this patch. And this kind of stuff is what would help make it more possible for me to be willing to do one and wanting to do one. Fire mode. Change the default fire mode for all weapons to full auto is now set as default. It's a dub. We don't want to have to make sure we're checking our, weapon fire state every time we go into a game. Locations. Added the new chop shop location for the fight mode, which is a new map. Fixed the culling issues on all locations. Removed the ability to vault out of bounds on all locations. Nice. Readjusted the logic of frag grenade spawns on all locations for all game modes according to the following rules. And I think this is really cool. The grenades do not spawn on Equator and Chop Shop and on all the shootout locations. So they don't spawn at all. Grenades spawn on Bay 5, Air Pit, Bowl, and Sawmill. So they're going to have certain locations. Added a spot with 100% chance of grenade spawn in the center point of location. So for example, on Air Pit, it would be like underneath the actual plane in the middle. Then also added 2 frag grenade spawn locations at equal distance between the teams. Chance of grenade spawn is 100% at one location. So for example, if you went to Air Pit, on the left and right hand side, somewhere near the spawn, as you run in, you'll be able to find a grenade, but it'll only be in one of those 2 locations. I think this is a good thing to add. Makes sure people don't just follow the same path every game and adds a little bit of variation. All other spawn points no longer contain frag grenades. So if there were any spawn points that had frag grenades in the past, they won't be available anymore. Air Pit. Significantly changed the geometry of the map. Regardless of the spawn side, players will reach the airplane at the same time. Bowl. Slightly changed the geometry of the map. Regardless of the spawn side, players will reach the helicopter at the same time. New hitbox and armor system from EFT versions 0.14 and 0.14.1. The head is divided into separate simple hit zones and that coincide with the protection zones of helmets and masks. 3 hit zones have been added to the head area: throat, neck, and face colliders. Thorax and stomach hit zones are divided into front, back, and sides. Pelvic hit zones is divided into groin and buttocks. Hitting these areas inflict damage to the stomach area. So this is coinciding the main game of Escape from Tarkov, making it so it's exactly the same as Arena. There were some people that were trying to preach that they shouldn't have the same hitboxes and armor, and they should keep it more simplistic, but BSG is doubling down and doing it their way. So it's going to have whatever you play in the main game of Escape from Tarkov is going to have the same hitboxes and armor for the Escape from Tarkov Arena game. Armor. Protection of armor and helmets is divided into separate zones. Depending on which section this zone covers, in some cases it might be several zones, these are the slots with integrated armor. Integrated armor zones have their own separate durability. For example, you can now reduce your opponent's chest zone armor durability and not damage the durability of other armor zones if you shoot them in the chest. So for example, now each place has its own durability, like the main game. Integrated armor usually has armor class 2 or 3. So that's like more the padding side of things, and then you'll have the plates on top. An armored collar that protects the neck hitbox has been added for the large number of body pieces. In addition, ballistic plate slots and integrated armor slots have been added to body armor vests and plate carriers, for chest section, for back section, and for side sections. Ballistic plates usually have armor class 3 to 6, following the main suit of the main game. The dimensions of the ballistic plate zones are the same as the average dimensions of real ballistic plates of that format, so they're trying to keep that realism form there. And body armor protection is no longer uniform. It now depends on what areas of the body armor visually protects. For example, no body armor protects the armpit area, coinciding with the main game. It's kind of like, so if you see someone wearing like a Dagilla armor, it only covers pretty much where the plate sits, whereas someone wearing like a 6B43 would cover pretty much everywhere but the armpit. Right, damage and armor. Rework the damage through layers of armor. Now, when each layer is penetrated, the bullet loses some penetration power and damage depending on the characteristics of the penetrated armor. So for example, this is way back in the day, you used to be able to wear like an armored rig over a body armor and it would take less damage because it would have to go through 2 sets of armor. It's the same with that now in the main game and also Arena. Whereas if you have an armored plate and then also the integrated armor as well, each time it goes through the plate, then the integrated armor, it would reduce the amount of damage of the bullet if it had enough pen to get through both the armored plate and also the integrated armor. Blunt damage now decreases when there is soft armor behind the unpenetrated component, and removed the possibility for bullets to pierce through a character's thorax and stomach. That's more of shooting someone from an angle, from like high up. You'd be able to shoot someone through the thorax into the stomach, or stomach up to the thorax. And so kind of how we shoot someone through the arm into the chest right now, they've removed that ability. And that's probably to do with like, I guess, clipping of the armor line not being exactly where in some places it might be like kind of overlapping a little bit. So it would be whichever one it gets hit first, I would assume. Details. More information about hitboxes and armor can be found on the following links. So that's the patch notes for patch 0.14 and 0.14.1. They've pretty much copied over all the armor from the main game across to the Escape from Tarkov Arena. All right, so that is the actual full patch notes for the latest patch 0.0.1.5, and the wipe is happening right now. Around 30 hours from now-ish, maybe a little bit longer, or about 30 hours from when the patch goes live, there will be drops for the Arena game. So the way the drops are gonna work, there's gonna be some cash you'll be able to get, limited edition preset that will become available. So that will probably be a once only thing to get. So make sure you check out a live stream, including mine, for the actual drops of Escape from Tarkov Arena to get that preset. But last but not least, if you're interested in playing Escape from Tarkov Arena, so you have the main game or not, they're also going to have trial keys available as a drop. So I believe it's going to be every 2 hours you'll be able to get one of the drops, and then there's going to be 6 in total. So probably max 12 hours you'll have to watch, and that will give you a trial key. The trial keys most likely be somewhere between 7 and 14 days. All right, so that's everything to cover for the Escape from Tarkov Arena right now. I'm putting out new player guides on my main, for Escape from Tarkov, and I will be checking out the new wipe of Escape from Tarkov Arena and making more content based on how I decide on if I enjoy it enough or not. Arena's been a bit of a sore spot, in my opinion, for Escape from Tarkov. They've had to do a lot of fixes, and these patch notes show a lot of those fixes needed to make the game a lot better. So here's hoping it's going to be a nice, clean wipe, and they're not going to be much, I guess, dirty points moving forward for the rest of the actual Escape from Tarkov development for Escape from Tarkov Arena. I imagine this wipe will be a big step in the right direction, but they've got a long way to go when it comes to Arena to making a competitive game, in my opinion. But I do believe they can still make it quite fun. I think the biggest point coming up for Escape from Tarkov Arena is when they're going to link the main game to Arena, and so then you can level up your main character for Escape from Tarkov. And so then people that don't have time to play a lot of raids can still be leveling up their main character. I don't think that's going to be happening any side of this side of the wipe for the main game, but they might trial it out, or they might get it out earlier. I don't know. They did release some sort of roadmap with dates and scheduled times. But yeah, I would say for the linking of the game, it will probably be quite a way away. But hey, sometimes Battlestate Games surprises me. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. If you've gotten this far, please subscribe. Help us get to the 1 million subs. That's our big push this year. And do appreciate all the support already. You guys have been phenomenal. Outside of that, have a great day. Lastly, I'll see you next time.